So, welcome everyone. To this online wave of the female wave of change. It's our second one today, and we're really happy to see everyone online and people from so many countries. Um, it's a joy, and we only started a couple of months ago with the female wave, and what we see that has been happening is so fantastic. It's great to see this many people here and join us in this event. So what we will do today is we have two speakers. Well, actually, I will just do an introduction. My name is Ingroen Bol, who doesn't know me yet. I'm the co-founder and board member of the Female Wave of Change. I will tell you a little bit more about the Female Wave of Change and why Anthea and her lovely ladies are on the call today, and why this project is so very interesting for us. So we actually, the female wave started actually at the end of last year, of 2016. And why? Because we realized that we live in a world with a lot of change happening, and a rapidly changing world. And we do believe that the changes that we desperately need right now, that needs the feminine energy. So we came up with this plan to organize this wave of events, a wave of change. Well, just to share what our mission is, it's well, we do celebrate that change, and we want to inspire women worldwide to connect, to share their knowledge and experience, and to initiate a wave of new opportunities. So we're not just going to sit back and relax and tell you a lot and just let you figure out everything. No, we want to initiate a lot of new opportunities. So that's also, I hope, why you're here. It's our vision. Female Wave of Change has the ambition to grow the group of female change makers and leaders. Women who take responsibility to build the future of their families, their communities, and of the world. So there will be a lot of awareness creating within the events that we start organizing pretty soon, online and offline. Awareness creating, but also really take the steps in actually doing. What's our strategy? The Female Wave of Change offers women from all walks of life a global platform online where awareness is created that women are responsible for their own future and are inspired to take action and make change happen together. How? By connecting, by building bridges. And that's with women from all over the globe, because it became international really fast. We want to connect women from all parts of the globe, but also women from all walks of life, women with all kinds of backgrounds, but also the different age groups. I see that Maike is online. She is our millennial expert. She is a millennial, and she's a millennial expert and wants to connect. You know, we can learn from the younger generation, as the younger generation can learn from the oldies, as we are, as I am at least. So that's so it's building bridges, sharing knowledge and experience, and that is also what Anthea will do. Share her experience about what she has been doing, and the great projects that she has been building. And we want to start initiate new opportunities. So then what happens is we want as many new opportunities as possible. So there will be a lot of projects. And there will be projects that the Female Wave of Change will be supporting. And those projects have to be initiated in one way or the other through the Female Wave of Change platform. So it can be that people meet on the platform, online and offline events, and that they start new initiatives. but it can also be that the projects are duplicable within the female wave of change community. The projects also have to be resonating the female wave of change mission and vision. That's very important, and contribute in any way to the global goals for sustainable development 2030 to save the planet for our children. Very important, and that's also one of the things that what you see when Anthea starts talking about her project. So we have been thinking about what we should be doing with this all these projects, and then one day it was Anthea, knocking on our door, and well, we said, well, come on, we need to talk. What are you doing? And we had several meetings, and although we thought it would just be an introduction, who are you? Who are we? What do we want? And things like that. But very fast it became very informing about the great project that they're working on right now, the Wasteland Graced land project. And we've been talking about it a lot, but this is the first project that the female wave of change actually embraced. So today, Anthea is going to talk a lot about this project, but also about well, the whole DreamCatcher organization that she has been building for the last so many years. So again, this why it makes it very interesting is the whole project Wasteland Graced that they have been working on for the past so many years is a project that is not just that can not only be built or executed in the townships of South Africa, where Anthea and her group are working, but this is a project that can be duplicated into new areas. So it can be like in Brazil, in Kenya, in India, wherever waste is a problem and where people need new opportunities to earn money. So this was for us very important. Well, and we can of course help Anthea and her group to make the next step and really make this project happen. So, Anthea, I'm going to quit talking, and it's the floor is yours. Oh, wait, I have to activate your microphone. Okay.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for that, Ingun. And we're very, very proud to be here. Are we not, Gertie and Risa and Katrina? And thank you for this opportunity. And we're also so extremely honored that there are so many people from different countries in the world that have tuned in tonight. Now, I think the most important thing I'd like to say is that the reason why we chose the female wave of change is because DreamCatcher walks the talk. Our strapline is that we actually make things happen, and that we don't just talk about things, but do them. Because the female wave of change fitted completely into our vision, because, if we don't stop talking, we will in the future have much more problems and many more problems. And because we wanted to align ourselves to organizations going forward, and that's what we've done in the past, align ourselves with people that actually make things happen, and therefore we chose the female way of change. We're very happy that you've taken us on board and embraced us. Would you like me to talk about my background a bit?
Yes.
About these DreamCatcher? Well, DreamCatcher started during the apartheid years. I was born into apartheid, and the first years of my life, until I studied, I was not really in contact with these beautiful cultures that today are my partners and colleagues. And through segregation, South Africa was very, very divided on partisan lines, on economic lines, and political lines. Coming out of colonization plus apartheid made South Africa extremely unique in that we had all these people living in different bubbles in the country. 30 years ago, I was approached by a gentleman who I gave a ride back to the community and he was feeling quite sick, so I actually took him inside. And I said, "Where's your tea? Let me make you some tea." And he looked at me, was completely stunned. He said, "No, but you can't make me tea. This is not allowed. You need to go and leave my house now immediately before the police come." So I said, "But that's not going to be. That is not going to be, because I'm going to make you a cup of tea." So I made him the cup of tea, and I left. And 2 weeks later, he phoned me and said, "Listen, you were the first white woman that has ever made me a cup of tea, and it's been in my house, and I lay on the bed for 2 weeks, and I and my wife think that you are the dream catcher that has come to save us from total abject poverty and the highest tuberculosis and transferable diseases in the entire region." So I went to go on his invitation into the houses and into the homes, and what I saw there kept me awake for 2 weeks. And I then made contact with Moses, and I said, "Moses, I'm ready to reach out into the community." And when I realized that the women needed help urgently, the children and everybody living in Malkootfontein. And I duplicated my visits then into many, many different townships in South Africa. And everywhere I went, it was the same: complete abject poverty, lack of skills and knowledge of how to transcend these barriers. They were kept out of business opportunities. And one day I sat with the ladies behind me and I said, "Listen, what are we going to do?" They said, "Well, we want to work for ourselves. We want to find money. We want to get ourselves out of this poverty, because otherwise we're all going to die here." So, well, let's not die, let's get working. And that's how the DreamCatcher Foundation started, because I couldn't find an organization in the apartheid times that was willing to work across multiracial barriers to help the ladies. And so the DreamCatcher Foundation was born. And today we have a DreamCatcher Foundation in the Netherlands as well, as you know, which were also people that came to become Dreamcatchers: Sonja van Prooster, Jacqueline Beckers. So we connected into the United Kingdom, into the Netherlands, and our home office is in South Africa. We work across South Africa, and we target specifically women in general, because women have been particularly marginalized during the apartheid period, and that situation still continued and continues by and large today. It's the same in all over the world. Women have to really fight for survival to get into business and to be the leaders in that field. The ladies that we were working with had all only been domestic servants. They had never considered the fact that they could actually be entrepreneurs, because they were socialized into that. And then we decided, well, seeing that we are situated in one of the top tourist destinations in the country, tourism is one of the growth sectors in South Africa, and therefore we will try to make this work, because we women have beautiful cooking skills, incredible hospitable characters and personalities, and patience, and a lot to give, and a passion for the country and for their people and our country. So women in general, therefore, rock the cradle, and they can therefore change their own situation. Well, it was quite a lot of fun and games, because the women didn't actually know that they had these strengths in them. So I spent 10 years doing that with the women, building their strengths and turning them from servants into a service. And therefore today we have a whole network of tourism business women in South Africa. And also the peripheral products of tourism, like for instance the Wasteland Graced project is a crafting project that is all aligned to tourism and general functional use items. So the more townships we went into, the more women signed up.
Okay, thank you. Wow, it's yesterday I was listening to your TEDx talk online, and you were telling that story about the bone structure. Do you remember that one? The backbone and the wishbone and the
Well, I must say, you know, you can imagine during the past 8 years, I wasn't allowed to have meetings. So I would go into the communities at dark, after dark, and we would have the meetings and we would strategize and dream. Women can dream big if they want to and focus. And particularly if you are in emergency in terms of social deprivation and lack of food and opportunities, you do become creative. But what I found when I took the message of the women and the kamamas, they are called kamamas, named after Nkoweni Kamama, which means the mother carries the child and the community on her back. Hence, the women are called kamamas. And so when I took the kamamas concept across South Africa, I was called the Mad Blonde. Everything I did was knocked down. You couldn't do that, you're crazy. And it meant that people would knock at their knuckle bones. We had people that wished they could be rich quick, and they were the wishbones, some of the people in the communities, because they were led into a dependent state, the communities. And then also what happened after that is then we had the backbones, and the women are the backbones. So I'd like to introduce you to our kamamas, and we would like to share with you fast, because we don't have much time. We'll pick up this over the internet and on YouTube again, but I'd like to introduce you to 3 of the almost 50 kamamas spread across South Africa. Katrina, would you like to lead with us, please? Would you like to lead, Katrina? You can speak.
My name is Katrina, and I am now a DreamCatcher. I came from a servant to a service. I am a cook-up kamama, and I'm proud to be a cook-up kamama today. I met Anthea Rossouw, and I joined DreamCatcher. And DreamCatcher brings me the business that I had today. And I'm proud to have my own business. And with this business, I can get my children on school, and I can help some of the people in my community to get food on their tables. So to have your own business is not to have it and you earn money a lot, but you must work hard to come on the top. And this is why we are DreamCatchers. We can work hard, and we have the smile, and we go on, and it is hard, but we love to be DreamCatchers.
Wow.
Right. We have so much fun. Gertie, oh, it's lovely to lean against you. Okay, Gertie.
Hi, I'm Gertie. I'm a homestay mama, and I joined DreamCatcher, I think, in 2008, and it was an opportunity for me because I didn't know much of other people outside South Africa, and for me, it's lovely to meet other people. There's so much that I learned from them, and the things that I learned from them was to put it through to my children, that they also can take note of what they say, and they can learn all the stuff that they didn't know. And I must say, with DreamCatcher, I could let my daughter learn, and she go to college, and now she's a qualified personal trainer and a sport massager. So without DreamCatcher, I will be nothing.
Fantastic.
Risa.
Hi, I'm Risa Jacobs from Chemist Homestay in Melkerfontein. I'm one of the kamamas here in Melkerfontein. First of all, I want to tell you I'm a single mom of 3 kids, and I want to say that it is difficult for a single mom to raise the children here in South Africa. But you see, there was a time I didn't have food on my table. I didn't have electricity. I just have a 2 rand to buy some chips from the cafe for me and my children. And then Anthea Rossouw coming my way, and the DreamCatcher, she give me a chance to make my own money and not to stand like an open hands to people and ask for money. But DreamCatcher come and they changed my life. That's why I am so proud to be a DreamCatcher Mama. And yeah, and the DreamCatcher, the money I make from them, I can let my children go to school and have some food on my table, not begging for food anymore. Yes, that's me.
Fantastic.
Well, it's amazing. What we do have is it takes a community to raise a child. So the ethos of DreamCatcher is that the women must also look back and lead. And they lead the community, they lead their children. So we also have DreamCatcher Kids projects, helping children from 5 years old until university stage, mentoring them, looking after their health and wellness, bringing them in if they struggle, offering skills and knowledge to them. And we are very proud to say today that through the tourism businesses the women run, the schools tell us, because our English is not these ladies' first language. No. They've learned to speak English fluently. Their children are speaking English fluently. We've had Dutch and English visitors in the community the last week or two, and they're absolutely astounded that the children are communicating to them in English. And at school, the teachers say that the children are definitely advancing because they do have to pass English as a second language to pass their grade in South Africa. 2 languages are compulsory. So the ripple effect of what we're doing is actually amazing. And therefore, we've reached out globally because I couldn't find organizations that would assist us in South Africa. I actually wasn't going to take that lying down, so I motivated my family to sell our house and my car, and I went and I started the organization. And then what we did then was we reached out globally. So I like the concept because every woman in this world is in the same boat with their family, with their husbands, with their sons. Everybody has to learn to row together to make it work in the current world. And therefore, I know today that the destiny was in the hands of everyone globally to support and come and support us. And therefore, we're very grateful to you, to everybody listening in today.
Well, lots of respect, ladies, what you're doing. And you are a great example to your children also, and your daughters, and you know, the women coming after you. I have a question because here of course you say you're going globally, but of course you did this whole project was first very local, but when I see this small map here, you can see where the Kamamas are in different regions, aren't they? Yeah. How did that work?
Well, you know, because tourism is the cash cow, and zero benefits of tourism were being given through to the women in communities to spread the benefits. We actually connected Kamamas up on all the major tourism routes in South Africa. And therefore, if people go to Soweto, they go to the Free State, they go to Cape Town, they go to the winelands, they go to the flower region, you will find a DreamCatcher Kamama building a business, building a family, taking the lead in the community, and therefore it is an opportunity for tourists to really meet the people of the country. My argument has always been, or my thought process is, during the apartheid years, people boycotted this country. After apartheid years, they need to find the people that they did that for and connect globally back into their own communities and find the engagement processes which they learn in skills and knowledge transfer with us here, reaching out locally to work globally and vice versa, because I think there's a lot of help that we can give, because these ladies that are situated in these towns across South Africa never interacted with each other. They were all put in different homelands.
Okay, thank you. I don't know if you can see the chat box, but I will just tell there's a lot of comments on and telling your kamamas that they can really be proud and that it's really impressing what they're doing. So that's good. Okay, what's another project that you're doing is this a health and wellness empowerment project. Work with women and teenage girls regarding obesity, type 2, type 11 it says, type 2, diabetes, stress and stress management.
Yes, as Risa was telling you, she's a single mother of 3 children trying to make a living. We have teenage girls falling into early pregnancy because of lack of self-worth, lack of the vision that although apartheid is dismantled, 20 years, they were born after apartheid was dismantled. And although there's political freedom, there's not socio-economic liberation yet. That was taking too long. The girls find that they have nothing to look forward to, so there's early pregnancies there. And also, we found that there was a lot of stress. And also, the women have a lot of stress because they have to handle so many things simultaneously. And one day when I was transferring skills and someone from the University of Brighton was transferring skills, the women were half falling asleep. It was so hot, so I said, well, why don't we go out and do a bit of stretch exercises and some yoga stretches and some exercises. And the next morning, I asked, what did you like about yesterday? Well, Dr. Woodard wouldn't be very happy, but they didn't say they liked his lesson. They said they liked the exercise. So that is where it was initiated. And then I spoke to the girls and the youth, the teenage girls, and they were all saying to me that there's nowhere for them to go to get rid of the stress inside them. Their houses are so tiny that they can't do anything inside. So they just have all of this energy which they can't get rid of, and therefore Kick Up Kamamas was initiated.
Good.
That too took me a year. It's sponsored. The music is sponsored by Walt Disney and Universal Studios, and it took a year to make the DVD, and now it's now ready for duplication into schools and clinics.
Good. We're going to watch that. It will take a couple of minutes, but it's great to see. So I hope everything works. Yes.
Who is innovating the women that have to grow and develop South Africa in terms of their psychological stresses and needs? So this Kick Up Kamama was born to provide a tool which is almost like an injection, and I call that a psychological injection to a better future for them.
So are you ready? Okay, let's claim it. Let's work it. Let's own it. Let's get started. Here we go. Reach for the sky.
But I wanted to remind the women of their beautiful culture, their lifestyle, the nature in which they grow, of which they are the custodians, and merge that with daily chores, which many teenage girls and women might find uh, of lower value. So I thought if I can work this into an exercise program, which would exercise them, but remind them of their heritage, their culture, and the beauty in which they live, and merge that with music, which is inspirational, then we could have something different.
There's a bit of problems with it.
Right arm strong.
Well, the first thing I did was contact a number of principals at schools and community leaders who were all lamenting the fact that many teenage girls are falling into early pregnancies, teen pregnancies, they're dropping out of school, and they wish that they had something to motivate and inspire the girls to discover their own worth and their own self esteem. I then discussed this issue with numbers of teenage girls on our DreamCatcher Kids project, which is situated around South Africa. And all the girls had a very low self esteem. So I thought it would be important to develop a program which can be implemented in schools, between desks, outside, hanging up the laundry, doing the dishes, a project which would actually turn into a whole new lifestyle.
Okay, girls, ready to work those muscles? All right, let's work our back muscles. Get your back nice and flat. Reach those arms down straight in front of you. Pull those elbows up to the ceiling. Extend the arms back down. Pull. As you pull, exhale. Good. Make your back nice and flat. Get those elbows in.
We're hoping to do this for 500 schools, free of charge, hoping to find a sponsor who will do this with us. And then once we have the effects, which we'll trial over a period of a year, we're hoping to roll this out across South Africa and then market it very well.
Strong warrior.
When I look at the indicators across the world, the economic depression, the retrenchments, the poverty, which is not only in Africa but across the world, and this potential that women have to actually build and stay strong in their communities. I do not think that this DVD is destined for South Africa. This DVD can stretch to South and North America, across Asia, and into the heartland of every country who have communities that are actually living in food poverty, are living in low economic depressed situations, and who actually are not investing in their own emotions and their bodies, just simply because they don't have the money and the access to where one would consider they have.
Yeah, thank you for sharing that, Ingrid. Unfortunately, there's a bit of corruption on, with the transfer that usually happens, but I'm hoping that people listening in got the idea. You can go into our website and actually play it to yourself and just put in pick up Kamama on the top right toolbar, and you'll be able to pick it up there and the whole story behind it.
Yeah. I have one question here. Janneke asks how you get people dreaming. We've been talking about that also within the vision of the female wave of change. We want people to start dreaming again or start dreaming. How does that work?
Anke, that's a very good question. Considering the fact, I had to ask myself that because the women and the communities were so disappointed. They had been so, over the years, they had been so suppressed. They didn't dare to dream. So I must be very honest with you. I worked out every way, from doing handstands to drawing pictures to taking them in my vehicle on a holiday for 2 days, because they'd never left the community, for them to see what is out there. And then asking them, we would meditate together in the meetings and think about things. And I would ask them, what is your ideal? What is it that if you had the opportunity you would become? And what is it that you would want first? And how do you think you would reach that? And then they would go home, and when we met up again, I would get all these messages. I was saying this to my family, but they thought I was crazy. But I said to them, that's okay, because DreamCatcher is crazy. It's not been done before. We will get there. So it is about envisioning, motivating, mentoring, and also consider that there was no more to lose for the women. They had lost their dignity, they had lost their cultural roots, they had lost any idea of worth. So you couldn't go lower than that in lack of esteem. So it was actually possible to build that one block at a time. It takes time, but once the women, and I believe emphatically that the woman can dream, and she can dream big, and she can make it happen. And I used myself throughout as a role model, but for them to understand that you have to walk beyond that extra mile, and you will have to give more of yourself than you receive, and then the dreams can come true. It will not fall into your lap. So to dream, they have to be afraid of the outcome of that dream for it to be worthwhile. And so Katrina dreamed of her children going to high school and to university. Risa dreamed, Gertie dreamed. They wrote their dreams down, and we said, let us take hands, and together we can do it. Because isolated, it's not possible. And I believe that if we can all get together and understand that power of doing things together and finding and innovating, I believe a lot can change, because I think we are living examples of that being possible. I hope that answers your question, Anke.
I think so. Janneke says, so we have to really be engaged to the other person. Gave us really good insight. Bonnie, what one action could each person on the call make in order to move this project forward? Yes, I'll get to that, Bonnie. Thank you. Okay, so by now we have seen that it's not just that you say that you're going to build something, but you have been building all these things. You've been starting projects, the Kamamas, the health project. There's so many things that you have been doing. So the next project.
Wasteland Graced.
Yeah.
Wasteland, the community of Malkertfontein, where we are speaking from tonight, is situated between two historic waste dump sites. On a research program, a project that was done by the Human Science Research Council for me in 1991, and then put it into the Human Science Research Council's database of research outcomes, found that the women, and particularly the children, had the highest incidence of tuberculosis in the country. They were also the most destitute. Looking at the lung problems and also allergies, when I came into the community, I saw the waste being burned in open dump site, which was illegal, but it was being burned. It was the waste from the entire resort region, which is around Malkertfontein. And it was a wasteland. There was also, besides that, the community had been inflicted the dire injustice of acacia cyclops being imported into the country from Australia. Acacia cyclops are the green shrubs and trees you see. Those cyclops actually were brought into South Africa by human intervention to plant on the dunes to stabilize the dunes so that they could build the resorts and the houses and the guest houses, etc., in that area. Unfortunately, not enough research was done, and this species kills everything in its path. So the green areas that you see in Malkertfontein under the waste dump site burning is not green, beautiful, lush vegetation. It is cyclops, and it kills everything in its path. So the natural habitat was also killed. And the beautiful area in which this community lives, it's situated in the heart of the botanical kingdom of the Cape. South Africa has 11.5% of all the world's botanical species, numbering almost 6,500. And yet this community living in the botanical kingdom was surrounded by acacia killing their natural habitat, no bird life, no animal life, no creatures. The children grew up without any idea of the natural environment around them. And then the waste, coupled with that, we knew that we had to change this community because they had suffered too long with this. The next thing we looked at was, because of the abject poverty here, we needed to find industries which would actually support the economy and the job creation as well. And so we had many community meetings. We brought in researcher from the University of Brighton in the United Kingdom, researching what is in the waste. And it was found that most of what was in the waste could be used. And at the moment, it's going to landfill. So we also looked at the wood of this, and we realized that if we take this out, we can create a botanical garden in its place to bring the natural habitat back, use this wood and use the waste to actually create industries and also to plant vegetables and fruit. And so today we have the beautiful botanical garden, which is incidentally named after one of the celebrities, the celebrity Karen Blumen, because she helped to raise the funds for that. We have the botanical kingdom back. We have bird life back, animal life back. We have beautiful vegetables being planted, and the women are all experimenting to grow the vegetables. We even have a plant now named after DreamCatcher. And so the community decided with me that they would call the project Wasteland Graced. Once the waste was analyzed by the University of Brighton, who are waste experts in this field, we found how much material we had in the waste. We found how much wood we had, and then this was carried across to the University of Brighton as an elective for the students after extensive consultation in the community. And the students and their tutors developed ideas for crafts and functional items of functional use, which were once more put before the community. We've got a captured market here with hundreds of thousands of tourists which pass close by the community. And so therefore this project was born. So we have the waste, which is raw material, not going to landfill now if we can get the factory built. We have the acacia cyclops, and we have the unemployed people in Malkertfontein. Many youth leave school and they have nowhere to go for work. And so as we can see on the picture, mountains of plastic bottles, waste being analyzed, and we can turn this and trend up the trash and turn it into jobs. And therefore, there's manufacturing taking place, a diversity of jobs, and therefore also skills transfer and knowledge exchange. So yes, so therefore Wasteland Graceland is the final part of an integrated, a multidimensional development plan for the community of Margaretfontein. And as we can see here, Yara was tutoring and transferring the sense of place to the students in the University of Brighton. Incidentally, I also consulted and interfaced with Dave Hakkens and Pim and Luke van Hukkel in the Netherlands, who also do design. And here the students are now working and designing, and they're beaming back to the community and the Kamama what they're doing, and the crafts are being designed and put together. And if we can get that workshop and the training room, the educational training facility in that center, and the environmental classroom done, we can also bring in the youth, that they can see what can be done with the environment. And the peripheral benefits, besides the jobs and the skills transfer, is we have regenerated and restored the natural environment. And therefore, it will turn with this final step from a wasteland into a graceland. And I'm very proud to say that this area now that we are working in has been included into the United Nations biodiversity declared corridor, so it will become a protected region. So as we take out the Cyclops and we bring in the waste material, this is the site where the factory for arts, crafts, and humanity is due to be constructed. All we now need in this final phase is financial support to make this happen. And incidentally, this project and the entire project actually addresses 11 of the Sustainable Development Goals. So where to now? We need the funding partner. Wasteland Graceland, the Center for Art and Crafts and Humanities, is a humanitarian outcome for the people of Margaretfontein, struggling on low income, unemployment, and lack of opportunities. Particularly vulnerable are the women and youth. And this plan demonstrates that culture and heritage and environment can be merged together. This is also a duplicable model which we can implement and assist and share knowledge with and skills via our partners at the University of Brighton, design students, the design faculty, via all the expertise which we brought in. We hope to pioneer this and transfer this across to other communities who have exactly the same issues. This is therefore our vision, the final peg in the ground, Wasteland Graceland. Thank you very much. I'd like to just leave you with a couple of passing remarks. Ladies and gentlemen, the iceberg is melting in the world. We all know that the big penguin stands on the iceberg when it melts to see where else they can walk to. So DreamCatcher and our Kamamas have stood on that iceberg, and we know where we're walking to. We don't want to leave a legacy where we're ignoring opportunities. We want to embrace the opportunities coming out of Wasteland Graceland, where we could transfer this benefit to many more people than are living here, and cast this positive shadow of prosperity together in the community of Margaretfontein as a group working together across the world wherever we are. I think there's one more slide. Thank you for engaging with myself and the Kamamas tonight. I don't know if you want to ask them a question directly. I'd just like to say that in this regard, the future is ours and the future is yours. In the Shona language in South Africa, it is Shamina, Shawena, mine, it's yours. That is the small the world has become. Thank you very much. You want to say goodbye? Come on, go for it. Come on.
Bye, Ingun.
Well, wait, don't go yet. It was really great. So, if I get it right, because here you have this great presentation on this platform, the Female Wave of Change. There's a lot of women connected, and there's two things. There's what you say, this is something that you can duplicate, and Bonnie already asked, what can we do to make things happen? And there's already in the discussion, there's a lot going on. What can we do to make things happen and to take it a step further? And I think we heard a lot about what we can do, but also so it is duplicatable. It's duplicable. Difficult word. Duplicable. So, if people from other areas are, women in other areas are interested to know more about the projects and see if they can duplicate it into new areas, they know where to find you, and we can connect you. So that's one thing that's very important. But the other thing is also very important, the money. And you have this crowdfunding set up, and that's also something about this project what I really love about your organization. You already said, well, you work with the University of Brighton, but you also have your support group here in the Netherlands who is doing a lot of work, and they set up the PIF World crowdfunding action. So that's why I thought it was very important that Sonia would join us in this meeting. She's one of the people who started this the support group in the Netherlands. I would like to see if I can connect with the PIF World
crowdfunding platform.
The crowdfunding.
I believe every 10 euro, every 5 euros, if we duplicate that across, we can reach this target so fast, and we can make this happen so fast that we can therefore share the model out faster as well again. Yeah. So I'm very excited about the opportunity to share this.
We are going to share, the Female Wave of Change is going to share the crowdfunding site. So I hope that everyone on the call will be joining to share that link to the crowdfunding site, so that more people can pay. I love what you told me last week. It was because the most important thing is you need the money now to build the factory, right? And next year, 2018, is the 100th birthday. Yes.
Of Madiba, Nelson Mandela.
Of Nelson
Mandela. 100th birthday. Yes.
Yeah. And what you said, it would.
It would make our dream come true, and many people, which our Kamamas represent, if we could complete that building in time for the celebration worldwide of his birthday in June 2018. It's possible. So if we could join together across the world, because this is something which we can give back to him, because that was he has spent his life working, and he never could fulfill his dream to see more of his people liberated from poverty. Because by the very virtue of the way in which economies work and tourism works, it takes years and years to change. And I would really like for us to christen that building on the day of his birthday next year. And if anybody is out there that can help us make that happen, I think you're all going to be very happy, won't you?
Yeah. Good, that will be a big party. And it would even be better if a lot of us, if everyone on the call would be there.
Yes. Well, you know where you can sleep and eat.
Yes, that's all arranged. Well, thank you, ladies. It was really a pleasure to have you on this call. It was really inspiring. And this is not just someone talking about a new initiative. This is someone with a background, a lot of experience in this field, and someone who really makes things happen. And that is what I truly love about you, Anthea, and absolutely all these fabulous women around you in South Africa who make it happen together with you. So there's people thanking you, very inspiring, and well, we hope to that we can tell you soon, or that you can tell us very soon, that you have all the money to build that factory, and that's another project that is going to succeed. So thank you very much. Thank you for all the participants and everyone listening in. Really a pleasure to have you here. This call is being recorded, so it will be online on our YouTube channel, I think tomorrow, somewhere during the day. And I hope that you will share it with a lot of people, and please share the crowdfunding website of the Dreamcatcher, so that they can make things happen. Thank you. Have a wonderful day, evening, wherever you are, and well, hope to see you next time as well. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Ingrid. Bye-bye. Bye, everybody. Nou ja, als je dat nou niet weet.
Op YouTube.